Hello and welcome to episode 181 of This Week at Gear Report, the show where we just make up the agenda, whatever we want to do, whenever we want to do it. We invite people on if we feel like it, and sometimes we don't.
Yeah, sometimes you just have to sit
I
there.
don't know. Maybe I'm feeling a little spicy now.
You're all fired up.
I'm waiting for Kevin to give us a thumbs up that he's ready to be put on the screen. Oh, 2 thumbs up. That looked like
super
eagerness.
ready.
All right. You're not at the undisclosed secret location yet, are you?
Not quite yet. No.
I'm
working my way that direction.
Oh, who am I talking to? Like, I know you. You probably got 27 gun shops to visit before you get there.
Yeah, everyone on the way.
I've got 3 on my list for tomorrow.
Oh, wow. It's a light day, huh? Banker's hours for Kevin.
Right.
Now we're all balanced out.
Yeah.
3 was looking weird. Now you have 4 of us.
Komar.
What's up?
Wrong side.
Yeah.
I'm logging in my E4.
What the world is he doing?
He's trying to give him a high five.
I was trying to give him a high five, and he's not getting it.
All right.
There you go. Boom.
Yes. All right. For those of you in the audio podcast world, that was one of the best awkward high fives I've ever seen in a podcast. That was really nice.
Watch
this. TJ's a little. Listen, you stop that right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Brady Bunch crap going on in here. I was looking around.
All right. So I'm going to warn everyone right now, if you have anything you want to talk about, you better get it on the agenda quick because we got stuff to do, people.
No. What do we have to
do? That. It's not just that.
All right.
And what I'm saying is we got a big day tomorrow because a number of us are going to descend on an undisclosed, private, secret location available only to the upper crust of the firearms content creator intelligentsia.
There you go.
And so we still have things to do before we go on that trip. So we'll make the regular agenda. We'll make that go pretty quickly this evening. So let's do recent reviews.
And we're done.
That was fun. All right. Reviews that will be published soon.
That was awesome. That was the quickest one.
So on recent reviews, though, I will, you know what? I'm going to pull this over to the other screen and I'm going to share the screen and I'm going to show you guys something. And it is going to be so exciting. You know what's coming. It's going to be so exciting. Yeah. So let's see. Present. Share screen. I'm going to do I'm going to do the entire screen on that other one.
He's taking us off, boys.
Well, not really. You can still be on the side. Here, let me move that.
I know this place.
I feel weird about it when I put a guest behind the recent review. So, and although Komar's more like family than guest, I didn't want to give you the wrong impression with that.
Jeff.
So what I wanted to show was this was one of the neglected stepchildren in the Gear Report family until very recently. I put a little more time into the Guitar Gear Report channel. And you can see we're actually simulcasting live on the Guitar Gear Report channel this evening, by the way.
Are we?
And a whole bunch of new videos have been put up, and some of them have taken off and done pretty well. And we're actually growing that channel. It still has very few subscribers because it's a very young channel with not much content on it yet, but it's starting to grow, and I'm kind of proud of that. And
I subscribe to that one.
You wonder?
I think I did.
Really? You don't know for certain already?
I don't know.
If you know anyone who likes guitar stuff, though, please consider sharing that with them because I am really making an effort to be more interactive in the comments on that channel. And I have scheduled stuff out there to have stuff drop every day while we're gone this weekend and into next week in case we're hungover for a few days when we get back, because you never know. or for whatever reason, and I dropped the link to the Gear Report, Guitar Gear Report channel in the chat. You can see our friends at Gear Report Firearms and the OG Gear Report Reviews channel are all talking about it. It's good stuff. You know who's not talking about it yet? It's Jizzard Jerry. He will. He just hasn't got to it yet because Gary likes to be supportive and likes the guitar channel.
We appreciate that he's here. Yeah. That's why he's here, for the guitar channel.
Look at that. I am Kevin Kinzer. Subscribe to your channel. That is amazing. Thank you, sir. That is very much appreciated.
You're going to make me feel bad now. Now I'm going to have to go in.
Unsubscribe and then resubscribe.
I'm just waiting.
I think I was one of the first ones to subscribe to it.
I'm sure you were. Yeah. As far as I know, you were.
There's 521 now.
Excellent.
There you go.
So, and that channel's grown almost 200 just in the last couple of days, which is a big deal when it only had like 300 to begin with. So,
guitar people.
It is approaching the monetization tier, which is what's really important, is to be able to make it self-sustaining and give me a way to justify all of these things that keep popping up on the walls. I'd made pretty good progress in the guitar arena up until recently. Like, I have the hangers on the wall. I have racks on the floor that hold multiple. They look like gun racks that you see at the range where people stand their guns up. And they were almost empty. Like, I had the stuff behind me that I kept on the wall because it looked cool. Everything else was almost empty. And now I'm down to, I only have 2 openings left. So I got to really crank some content out so I can sell a bunch of this stuff. See, Gizzard Gary's got his little guitar icon there. So we appreciate that, Gary. So
you definitely need some more weapons on that wall. You've got far too many guns and way too many guitars.
Yeah. Well, little known fact, I am a weapon. So I'm trying to offset the rest of, I don't want to overwhelm people with my weaponness. So I'm putting non-weapons in the background. Or at least that's what I'm going to go with for now.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. All right. So I would like to ask, let's do a couple things. Komar, are you pleased with your Bucket O suppressors, or is there any feedback that you would like to give directly to Kevin while he's here?
Yes.
So, on that topic, I've been super pleased with what I've got so far.
Good. I got scared for that impromptu prompting.
Yeah, no, we're good. But I've been eyeballing my e-forms, and the inventory is reflecting that the Form 3 was transferred for 4 more of them.
Nice.
But I don't have shipping yet, man. I got no tracking number. But the 6 that I got in the first bucket were they were good. I'm happy with them.
Nice.
Quiet.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That makes me happy.
Yeah, I'm very happy with what I've got. But there's 4 more I'd like to see.
The bucket was kind of light.
I need 2 buckets. I need 2 buckets of suppressors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, that's awesome.
And I need more subsonic. So I need to achieve more of that to really enjoy it. But
yeah. That's always the problem. You're like, I got suppressors, Jay. Oh, I got to buy a bunch more ammo. Crap.
Yeah.
I get to buy more ammo.
Or
I get to, yeah.
Or
how about the pen?
Here's what you do. I'm going to solve this for you. Okay.
All right.
Just chop your barrels so that you lose enough feet per second that everything's subsonic.
Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Jeff,
solution.
You are a genius.
I don't know that the math really checks out on that.
Yeah.
I'm taking that math. I don't know if that's the best idea I've ever had.
Listen, in Jeff's head,
everyone presented. Yeah.
All I'm saying. Yeah.
He also likes Armageddon, though, so there's that.
In Jeff's head, it went well. That's how it goes.
I like it.
I'm like, yeah.
Armageddon.
Oh.
We're doing it.
It's all right. I just opened a beer. We're good.
So this one actually surprised me. I was walking around the house, and one of my kids says, "Oh, your guitar got here." I was like, I don't think I'm waiting on a guitar. But this company, Toaster, I guess. It's like toaster, but without the first A, like Tostar. I don't know. It's not anything like what I said, but it's Tostar. They sent me this.
It's
to have a look
Toastar,
at.
actually.
Toastar.
Toastar.
That
Right. Like
is,
Savannah OnlyFans.
coincidentally, yeah, I was going to say that is my OnlyFans handle. But anyhow, yeah, it's good to see we're on the same wavelength with that. So anyhow, it's like a Stratocaster type. It's like super budget friendly, and I would put a link in the discussion if anyone wants to get something like this. But the Amazon link generator is not working this evening. I don't know why. But anyhow, it comes with everything you need to play, like a cord and a little amp and picks and the chintziest guitar strap I've ever seen in my life. But it's like $139 shipped. It's crazy. And it actually plays and sounds pretty good. But that was an interesting surprise because I was not expecting that to show up anytime soon. So I got a couple videos up on that already. Even though it surprised me, I'm getting pretty quick at those videos. So I churned a couple of those out. Got that out of the way because I've got to move into firearms mode by the time I leave the house tomorrow. So,
Yes.
Did you clear a path?
Where'd my banner go?
It's time.
We weren't yet done with Guitar-mageddon.
Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to spare you the rest of it for right now. I'm going to point right back here. Next time we're going to talk about this one, okay? Because I picked that up over the weekend. I've been trying to get that specific guitar for 2 months. I don't mean that make and model. I mean that guitar. It was up near where my youngest is going to school, which is like 3 hours away. And we finally went up there this past weekend, saw a football game and went out to eat. And
do a little looting while you're up there.
And I drug the whole crew out. It was really sketchy, right? So the guy says, yeah, here's the address, and just come back behind the building. And I'll be back there behind the building. And we're driving back there, and they're looking around like, is this safe? And I'm like, what are y'all worried about? Like,
You
I'd like to
bring
get
everyone.
situationally aware, but I'm like, I do deals a couple times a week for, all sorts of things that I'm buying and selling, and
we can't discuss those on the show.
Well, we won't, just because it would be boring to people, but
Trying to spice it up, man.
Oh,
but this is one of the first deals where you thought you were going to get executed.
No, but they did. And I went in, and it was actually a church. Oddly enough, it was a church, and there's a little storage room in back. And I go in, and it's like a music studio. And there's drums and racks of music electronics and cases for guitars and keyboards and all sorts of stuff everywhere, and guitars hanging on the wall. It's like the church must have a band that plays during their services, and this is like their practice and storage room. And the guy was showing me some really neat stuff, like stuff from the 60s that is very collectible and very pricey. And I get it. And I told him, I was like, I need to be getting out because the family was a little worried about meeting someone I don't know back behind a building. And we're both kind of chuckling at that. And then my phone dings. He's like, yep, that's them. And sure enough, it was my daughter saying, you okay in there? So yeah, I did.
He went to a church and then we never saw him again.
Yeah, well, that's why I don't go.
Like, as I go out the door, drag me back in real quick and just freak them out, dude.
I wish I'd have thought of that. That really could have been funny.
That would have been funny.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, and so my youngest was she's the one that was at school, and she's on the swim team, and one of the swimmers was with her, and I just met the guy. Don't know much about him, but I do know he said he wrestled for a few years.
Oh.
And college athlete, pretty fit guy. It would have been funny to see, would he have made any attempt to try to help me, or would he have been like, I'm out of here? But But no,
Yeah.
I did not push the issue. And
That'd be good to know.
yeah.
Mhm.
Well, if it were a romantic interest of my daughter, I may have pushed things a little bit to see what happened. But it was just the only teammate that was around that she hangs out with. So yeah.
Like, all right, see that door over there? You need to go in there. Knock twice. This guy named Ramon will answer.
Yeah.
He'd be like, what do you know? Listen, I do sketchy stuff like this all the time. If you're not down with this, then that's it. You can't hang out with my daughter.
Yeah.
And just
All right.
freak him out right off the bat.
Amazon site stripe is back. That is important
geez.
information. If you are an affiliate on the Amazons and you want to be able to share stuff with people so you can pay your bills, the site stripe is back
Gotta
up
pay
and
the
working.
bills.
Yep.
I
Gotta have
can't
the
quite pay
skills
the
to
bills
pay
with
the bill.
Amazon yet.
0.003 pennies at a time.
Oh yeah, that's pretty much how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then every now and then something happens and they give you like a stack of pennies instead of one or two, just enough to get your hopes up, and then it's like dash.
Like nothing.
Yeah, from then forward, it's like, oh yeah, we just wanted to keep you working, and maybe that'll hold you over for a month or two before you give up. And when you're about to give up, then we'll toss you another bone.
They know they've projected. AI has told them how long it takes for somebody to give up, and 2 days before, shoot them a little money on their Amazon account.
Yeah, that must be a. They must have felt like I was motivated recently then, because they have been hurting me as far as earnings and such. Whew, man, it has been brutal lately.
Shame on them.
I know, like they don't understand, because this multimedia empire doesn't necessarily fund itself 100% all the time.
I know.
And I do need a little help, or I'm gonna have to go get a real job. So let me rephrase that.
That's no fun.
No, I did corporate stuff for enough years. I really don't want to do it again.
I have a real job. I mean, it's okay, but
it's overrated.
Yes,
it is.
Okay, so let's move on to the next question. And Komar, you are welcome to participate, even though you're not actually going to participate. Okay, so to those of us going to the top secret mecca of firearms content creator intelligentsia this weekend, what are you most looking forward to seeing there? And I'm just going to take myself off the table. I'm talking about products, not individuals here.
Products.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't even know who's there.
Isn't it interesting?
You know me. I'll just wander around and be like, "I'll hear TJ," and off I go.
There was a time when we studied
always
for weeks ahead of time.
Yep.
I had a spreadsheet with all the brands in it, and we would put notes about who wanted to talk to them about what.
Yep.
And now
who to talk to at the booth, and
now it's like we'll see who's there when we get there.
I know we're so slack now. It's just a better system. There's not that many people there, so it's like.
Are you working, Kevin? Do you have like a booth? You have something out on the firing line?
Yeah, I'll have a booth there.
Oh, that's amazing.
I was going to be with Titman.
We get to shoot Kevin ammo.
Right. I was going to be with Titman, and then they.
That's the best ammo.
Did they didn't uninvite you?
What's that?
They didn't uninvite you, did they?
No, I was going to go with Titman and do a booth with them, and they backed out of it. So
really, they're a mainstay at the.
I know.
How are they going to put it?
Their marketing guy.
Where am I going to get my full auto 22? Come on.
Their marketing guy Eric decided that he didn't want to go this year.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money. I mean, moving around the planet, this is expensive stuff. Yeah. And so they decided that they didn't want to do that because they are doing another event. It's like a steel challenge match or something, here in the next month. And so in order to dedicate resources to that, they did not come to this event.
So as a brand representative, do you feel that it makes more sense to change up what you do from year to year, or to just be regulars at things over and over?
Well, I am always under the Barney Stinson impression from How I Met Your Mother that newer is always better.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And so, new exposure and new events and new locations is always better,
Yeah.
right?
And as far as the
That-
media goes, most of us will travel all over. I mean, I went to TriggerCon.
Right.
You
And
know?
while TriggerCon was going on, I was in Dallas for the AR15.com gun
Right.
stock.
Gun stock. Yep.
And I went to the Primary Arms Law Enforcement Range Day the weekend before that.
Yeah.
And so I'm on my way back from Dallas right now, and I've got a new mobile patch wall established.
Look at
Oh,
that.
there you go.
It's huge.
That's what I'm talking about.
It's epic. You can see it from outer space.
Oh my goodness. It wraps around the corner.
It wraps around the corner.
The old
That's
wraparound patch
crazy.
wall.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
You know what I just
Yeah.
figured out, TJ?
What?
So
I
the
just
patches
figured
reach
out where
around the
we're
other side.
partying this weekend.
What's that?
I just figured out where we're partying this weekend. Right there by the patch wall.
Oh, I know.
Or maybe they'll come party with us. I don't know. There will be
Yeah, it'll be
partying
fun.
happening.
Are you bringing your tents?
I'm bringing a big ass tent, one of the
There
big
you go.
military tents. And Ruben and Bill are going to have their Humvees again,
Cool.
which means I don't have to bring mine, which is good because I'm poor and I don't want to pay diesel for that trip, but or risk it breaking when I'm trying to sell it. So
There you go. I don't blame you.
although every time I say that, I'm like, I don't want to jinx things, and I shouldn't say it. But so it probably is due to break on me because that truck has been
Been a while.
free. Well, I got it right after I got it. The transmission just completely took a dump on me and had to have that rebuilt. But since then, it's been like too reliable. I've caught a couple things before they went south.
I'm trying to break this thing.
Right. So, but since Ruben and Bill are both bringing Humvees and they're really cool Humvees, I was like, yeah, what's the point of me driving 8 hours in a Humvee when I could take the van that has a bed in the back and sleep in style?
Not a bad idea.
Yeah, so that's
Not a
what I'm
bad
gonna do.
idea.
Yep, I'll set up the big tent for the commoners. I mean, for the Gear-Report team, for the cream of the crop in the firearms content creation community. They'll have the big military tent with cots to sleep on.
Mm-hmm.
And or maybe who knows? Maybe I'll trade. Maybe I'll offer up and say, "Hey, does anyone want the bed in the van?" And I'll sleep in the big tent. And who knows?
Mm-hmm. Sweet.
Actually,
I'm
probably
looking forward to it.
My one weekend of camping a year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm looking forward to seeing? The red, white, and blue painted M2 50 cal. Because that's always really cool. That's always really cool to see. I don't even know who owns it, honestly, but it's always out there and it's always a good time.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we're going to have to figure out like Friday night or Saturday morning, probably maybe Friday night, we'll strategize and figure out what our goals are for this trip, because I'm a big fan of get there and then figure out why you're there. Like who are we looking to talk to? What are we trying to figure out?
Jeff are totally opposites.
And you have a different perspective being there as a brand representative and knowing all the brand people like as another brand person. So we may have to lean on you a little bit for that perspective to say, hey, who can we help the most? Which I know is a different way to look at it.
I know the gun snobs. The gun snob's probably pretty interested to see me.
He said,
Yeah.
"Wait, no, it's not." Oh, snob.
Yeah,
that's mean.
Where's that snob patch at?
Take that. It's got to go down farther on the list.
Yeah, I got to move it down in the priority list a little bit.
I see a Live Free Armory patch. That's pretty much the same thing.
There's my snob patch.
It's going in the corner now. Sorry, snob.
It's gonna go down in the bottom.
So I'd move. Everybody got a day on my little sling bag because I only have enough room for a Gear-Report patch and one other patch. So the last day was Gary's since he had fun that last night.
I got a Gizzard Gary up here too.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's it right there, isn't it? So I will say, regardless of what kind of grief the gun snob likes to give people, he does have a what in my opinion is a pretty cool patch. So
He does.
yeah,
His patch is pretty awesome.
Talk smack about. I'm happy to talk smack about him as an individual, but I got to give props to his patch. The patch is pretty.
Wait till we get a glow in the dark patch.
Oh,
Glow in the dark is epic. Epic.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Oh no, is he going to turn the hole?
Oh. The display from the laptop doesn't really.
Yeah.
This.
Now it's just like something out of a horror. Now it looks like something out of a horror movie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Something's going to pop up behind him.
I've seen that before.
Yep. all I got to say is, when someone says run, like I'm going, I'm not waiting to see what it is. Like I'm out of here.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Watch this. Yeah, I'm going to order some more patches. I need to order patches too. And so does Gary. So maybe we can get a group buy together. We all go together and get a volume deal. We probably need to rope G-Webs into this. And since he's the one who has set up these kind of patch buy things before, maybe we can get him to maybe we can get him to organize it since he's got the connections. Or G-Webs has got a machine that makes like sewn patches, and I don't think he can crank out like huge volumes because it's like a almost. I think it's bigger than a hobbyist machine, but not like a high volume commercial machine. Maybe
like an embroidery,
right?
Yeah,
but an embroidery machine, but made for patches, just not high volume.
Gotcha.
Patches are like hats or something, but
if
like
he starts now, he can probably get them all printed or done by the time.
I'm thinking it could be neat if I could get him to do just a handful. Like I don't need hundreds of them.
Limited edition.
But get me like 10. And yes, I'm not disagreeing that PVC patches are better than embroidered patches, but I'm saying I've never had a sewn patch made for Gear-Report, and it'd be nice to have like a dozen or a half a dozen to distribute.
You're not going to distribute them.
I want to buy people's loyalty and affection with unique and limited edition
special patches. Like, hey, I only had 12 of those made.
Yeah,
PVC is definitely better.
Well, yeah, because you can get glow in the dark.
Yeah,
I got glow in the dark.
Yeah, you have patches too.
Yeah, I thought I sent you some.
I don't know. I don't
maybe.
see
Maybe
Jeff,
not.
Jeff doesn't have a patch wall. They're probably in a box somewhere.
No, I have a patch wall. I'm embarrassed to admit what's on the patch wall, because it's a little troubling.
Troubling.
Yeah, because now he doesn't know where it's at.
The troubling is it's not Sexy Wendy, because everyone needs a Sexy Wendy patch.
I've got the Sexy Wendy patch.
Yes.
I am on board for the Sexy Wendy patch.
Yes.
Who's not? And I wonder, is the Ghost Tactical 2.0, is that a glow in the dark patch? I think maybe it is. I'm gonna hold it in front of the light for a second and see. Yeah, I can't tell.
We can't tell. What are you asking us for? We don't know.
And I actually do. I bet this is a glow in the dark patch. I'm holding it in front of the light over here. It is the gun stop patch.
You know,
the glow in the dark patch.
Gary's patches, OB's patches.
Man, I thought it was a cool patch to begin with, but I just realized it actually does glow. Dang it.
They all got glow in the dark. Everybody has glow in the dark.
My patch sucks because it doesn't glow. The Ghost Tactical patch is not a glow in the dark. I think he's got another one.
He used to
in the dark.
He used to, because that was my first glow in the dark patch, and it was on my bag, and it always freaked me out at night. I was like, "What the hell? Oh, that's just a ghost patch. Never mind."
I think that patch is still on my bag, and it does weird me out every now and then when I forget about it and then see.
Yeah. See, if you don't think about it, you're like, "What the? Oh, it's just a patch." All right.
Oh, right. I saw that. The Shot 2020, it looked like a media badge. Okay, so there's another question. Everyone here goes to SHOT Show. Is everyone signed up already?
I mean, I have to go because Dustin Sanchez will not do any interviews with anybody else than me.
With anybody else? At least until you have done the interview with him. No, you're laughing, Kevin. Have you not signed up?
We'll sign up like the second week of January, I'm sure.
That's like me booking a hotel. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get our hotel second week of January.
Yeah, we'll book the hotel during the flight over, essentially.
You know the good thing, because I know where the GSL motorhome will be out there by Circus.
No.
Yeah.
I don't generally drive west of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
And this was a first time, and it was rough.
Circus is the place to be.
Circus is not the cheapest option right now.
That's uptown for us.
Really?
Kind of surprising. I was looking Southwest for a couple more hours. Southwest has a 50% off sale. So I was looking today, and Excalibur is actually less spendy than Circus. And I was like, oh my goodness, we could actually be like on the real strip for once. And sure, Excalibur's like a shithole, but
then you're thinking like, no,
it's actually on the real strip.
Let's do it.
It's north of Luxor and Mandalay Bay down there. That's like the south end. You are solidly on the strip if you're in Excalibur.
We stayed at the Bellagio last year.
Oh my goodness.
And it was gorgeous.
We stayed at the five murder outline hotel.
The 5 Roach Motel.
Five Beaten the Horse Hotel.
Yeah, it was something.
It was something else.
Nice.
But it's what. Listen, it was the
travel lodge.
We do stay where it's kind of questionable, and it's always like an adventure. Like, are we going to get murdered or stabbed or anything like that? But it's always walkable.
That makes
so we can always walk wherever we can go. So it's I like that part. Like tacos are water. Yeah, it's right down the street.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It works out. So if we do what? Jeff will book the No-Town Motel? Not with TJ. Come on.
Plus that's too high dollar.
Southwest forced me to book a plane ticket early this year. I haven't booked it. Like, I looked at all the options. Here's the thing. Southwest used to be amazing for me because it had direct flights. I could go out of there are two airports close to, one's like an hour and 40 minutes and the other's 50 minutes. So but I had two choices that I used to be able to get a direct flight, and there are no direct flights this year at all. And I was like, what the hell? Yeah.
That's weird. Most of mine they're direct, but they're weird hours. So I can fly, I can have a one stop and get there, but it's still not as cheap as Frontier. So it's like,
wait a second. I was not aware that the Y was an option. I am a Y member. Yeah.
Enjoy, TJ. Enjoy.
I don't even ask anymore. I'm like, what are we looking at? He's like, okay, like whatever. He's like, all right, it's $50 each for the week. I'm like, all right, we're good.
So I'm getting stabbed or hepatitis, right? What's it going to be?
I take a shot of penicillin and I get my tetanus shot before I go. I'm good.
Yeah, this is a pre-travel checklist. Just knock these out. You'll be good.
Yeah.
No, we stayed at the Travel Lodge in front of Circus last year. So it was like literally the driveway that you take to pull into Circus.
If you miss that,
go left, you go to the circle in front of Circus. If you go right, you pull into that Travel Lodge. And it was fine until the very last night. And then it was like a little scary, but mainly because there was incredibly sketchy stuff going on next door. And when I called the front office, they said, no, we will not do anything about it. And she was clearly terrified. Like, no.
Like, I'm not coming out of this cage. And there are bars everywhere on the main office.
Right.
So.
Right.
Nice.
Both kind of bars, because it's Vegas.
Yep.
We were dressed. Well, okay. See, that's another story about when I went up to the front desk to ask about something. And the girl working the counter literally said that I was the best dressed, like sharpest person she'd ever seen in that hotel. And I was just dressed to go walk for a SHOT Show.
Yeah. I mean, it was.
You're just wearing shoes, right? Shirt
Pretty
and
much.
shoes.
Hit his frocks on and cargo pants and a Gear
And
Report
a
shirt.
button down. What are the new button down Gear Report shirts
Yep.
with the embroidered
I
logo?
mean, he looks snazzy, but not like businessman guy. Like who's this person?
Did you use your prison ID to check in?
I feel like that's a euphemism for something, and frankly, that's
Right.
kind of scaring me. I'm not going to look that up.
We're gonna move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
We try to get him every time. Like, dude, just check our urban dictionary. It's fine.
I'm
Yeah,
a little
cool.
scared. So, yeah. So I don't know what we're going to do. I talked to Ron out at Battlefield Vegas today and did not get clarity on whether we're going to go spend time with them again. I mean, I said, hey, we've hung out with you guys after shot for what, 3 or 4 years now. Like, have we done everything? Because we're happy to come if there's more stuff and we're going to add value, but do we want to spend another day?
I think no, because you actually got to see him and talk to him the last time, and he's like, all right, I'm good. See ya.
He said he was going to talk to Ozzy and see what they had going on because they got a whole bunch of new Humvees, and
I saw that.
I think they're the ones we saw last year, and they're just still working on them. But I don't know. We'll see.
There's a bunch of Humvees there, though.
But I'm assuming that we're likely not going to do that. But the other thing I found out with Southwest is they not only do they not have anything direct, they only have like with a certain window of departure where it used to be any time in the day you could catch a flight, and half of them were direct. Now it's like only in the morning.
I mean, I won't have to take the red eye out.
I think it was like 2:30 was the latest departure on Friday. It's like, well, that means like leaving SHOT Show at 11:30 on Friday.
I'll leave Saturday.
Yeah.
Yep. Get
So-
up, get breakfast Saturday, and roll out.
Yeah.
I mean, because me and Jeff are at SHOT Show till like 6 or 7 on Friday, and we
Yeah.
hang out. We're helping break down booths and stuff, running people down, evading the security.
Yeah. It's a fun little game we play.
It
with
is.
security. It's the pre when people are setting up and we figure out how to get in and walk the floor and talk to people while they're setting up. And then also the post after they've told everyone to leave and we figure out how to get back in. It's just a game we play. Let's see.
And we win.
Oh, Gary found a nonstop flight. That's good. Had to wait until 4 p.m. But is that 4 p.m. Saturday? Yes, he says Saturday. I can read Gary, I promise. I just don't sometimes.
Yeah.
Opt out.
Where are you staying, Komar?
I don't know yet. Typically, the wife and I stay with the Bad Moon Armory folks. And I was actually just thinking that typically they get a place and we split it. And
With who you said?
Bad Moon Armory out of Kentucky.
Oh,
Right. They're some wild folk. They're from Kentucky, so kind of got to figure.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they do some cool. They do some cool old Colt clones and things. They do some really cool stuff. But,
neat.
Yeah, so that's what we usually hang with, and usually they arrange that. So I need to actually check on that and see if that has happened.
Yeah. Let's see. Gun Snob says Southwest only has one nonstop a day from Tulsa. Yeah. Saturday flight out, Saturday afternoon on the way out and morning on the way back. That works okay. And he's talking about going Saturday. I was thinking of probably since the it used to always be the big Antares range day. Like there were usually a couple range days on Sunday.
The Sunday before,
and I haven't heard of any like since the Rona happened. I haven't heard of any Sunday range days happening. So that means flying in on Sunday instead of on Saturday for me typically,
or Sunday morning early.
Yeah. We'll have to see how that shakes out. I think it's not likely that when the show's over, I'm going to log in and book something on Southwest. And the other thing is I always do like lately I've been trying to combine if you book your flight and your hotel at the same time on like Travelocity or something, or even through Southwest, they give you a deal or a better deal. And that's where I was looking at Excalibur, getting the flight and then booking the room that way. And then it's a little higher than I'd normally spend, but then I get to charge my roommate back, half of the hotel cost. And that puts me right at the normal budget.
Live up, Jeff. Don't be scared.
Do that.
Don't be scared, Jeff.
You want me to do that? You want me to book the Excalibur? It's at the other end. So we're going to have to budget another $50 for the monorail pass. And then we can walk across.
Should I get the discount one that they give us? Didn't they have it? Wasn't a discount one on SHOT Show?
The SHOT Show site, yeah.
Do we have to take the monorail or can we walk? All right, no, monorail.
Monorail is where it's at. You can walk.
We've walked before.
You can walk if you want to walk as far.
We walked. Where did we walk from the one time? We walked.
Well, you got to walk MGM. Is it Koval? Is that the street? The next street back there?
Koval.
And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. I don't know why. Like I can walk the same distance anywhere else, and it feels like half the distance. That road just keeps going. And I think what it is a lot of the casinos have their big bins where they put all the empty beer bottles out back on Koval, and then the recycling trucks come and get them.
Yeah.
And it smells like 2-month-old beer that's been out in the Vegas
like
sun.
Every morning to me. Like,
oh my goodness. I think Crystal just volunteered to do our house shopping for us.
No. She doesn't know our budget.
Yeah.
Like, listen, Crystal, start at 0 and then slowly increment up to where there's at least 1.5 stars, and we're good. Then we'll go from there.
All right. We keep talking about SHOT. I figure why not pull up the SHOT Show page. All right. So what I want to see is if I can figure out where the bus schedule is.
Yeah, because we take the buses a lot too.
Yeah. And if it's close, the bus schedule, the bus could be better than going over to get on the monorail, because that's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But I mean, we'd have the bridge going over from Excalibur to wherever that south stop is. What is that?
New York.
That's on the other side of the road.
Mm.
That's on the west side. On the east side is where the monorail is. Is it?
You're talking about Tropicana.
Is it?
Tropicana's on the east side.
I want to say like MGM or something, but
we're mapping it right now. For everybody listening, Jeff is mapping it. He's gonna
Vegas Strip. All right.
If you go right across the bridge, you'll hit Tropicana.
Yeah, it's MGM. MGM's what I was thinking about.
That's where he jumped on it.
Yeah,
at the Murder Hotel.
We stayed down here at
the Murder Hotel.
Which one was it? Wasn't Motel 6? Was it Travelodge?
Yeah.
Yeah, we stayed.
No, because there was. What was the one behind it?
Candlewood Suites.
Yeah, because
that looks too nice. We didn't stay there.
No, we didn't stay there.
I think it was Travelodge.
It was.
It had a different name, I think.
It was bad.
But yeah, so we went from here. We go from here up across the street and walk in, and then
hit the monorail over
down here somewhere to get on the monorail. Mm-hmm. And then the monorail would take us. Oh, what is going on here? It's like I've never used this before, and that's where the one day that was the monorail not running. Like it wasn't. It was Wednesday when we go to the media breakfast.
Yep.
And we were too early, and the monorail wasn't open yet, so we just
walked.
Oh my goodness!
And it was frigid. That was frigid.
That was miserable.
And you know me, Florida boy. Do I have a coat?
No. But who knows? Maybe it'll happen. Maybe I'll go ahead and book that. I'm thinking that we would be okay. That if I book the hotel, like for one person added on, that then like you could just stay there.
Oh, nice.
Am I
Nice.
looking? All right, New York, New York. That means that if we go, I don't even know what I'm doing anymore.
I have no idea what you're doing either.
Like I have completely lost myself. There's the I'd gone too far north. There's the Excalibur. That's what I was looking for. The Excalibur. Yeah, so we'd have to cross twice. We'd have to go over. That's what Kevin was saying. We'd have to go over to New York,
And then go to MGM.
and then go to MGM, or go over to Tropicana, which is, I suspect, is the other one that you said, and then go up to MGM.
Yeah,
Yep.
I know my strip.
Clearly, I feel bad that I'd say I doubted you.
I know
but
how
it's
long
more
it takes
accurate.
to walk everywhere around there. That's
More
about it.
accurate is that I misunderstood, and it was on me.
We end up spending a lot of time in Ubers there, though, because
Well-
we're moving cases and suppressors and weapons and everything.
Yeah.
So is that a
You don't want
concern?
to put those
that
on the
you
monorail?
have?
What's that?
You don't want to tote those on the monorail?
Not really. No. Not
Have
really.
you ever had an Uber driver be like, no, you can't take that in my car?
Nope.
That's good.
They're getting
Nope.
paid. That's why.
Although last trip we had a really interesting experience with a lady who had rented a car from Uber for the week. A Tesla.
Mm-hmm.
She rented the car from Uber for the week and then paid Uber back their own money with the rental, the rides that she had given people that week.
Really?
Well, what happens if you don't do enough rides to cover the rent of the car? You know?
You got to pay.
Right. You'd have to pay for the rental no matter what. And it was a little crazy.
That does sound kind of crazy. So, yeah, the gun snob going with the sport model of the minivan.
That's fine.
That should
Listen,
be fun.
there'll be a bucket in the back for you. Just be careful with it.
Mhm.
They got the same house they did last year, which had the special stuff hidden.
Oh, well, they have a servant in the house too, don't they?
No, that was Clover and
Oh, it's Clover,
Ghost.
man.
Yeah.
I think whatever you do, you don't want to drive. Okay. If I could
No,
give
no.
any advice to anyone that's planning on going to SHOT Show, do not rent
No.
a car. Okay. Because there's 1,000 ways to get to that show, and none of them are helpful with a rental car.
Yep.
We've done a rental car, 2 or 3 years, and
years.
when we did the Airbnb that was 7 or 10 minutes drive away, it worked out okay, and it gave us the freedom to go. Like we could drive to range day. Like when we
Yeah.
went to range day for the morning, and then Nellis in the afternoon.
Yeah, that helped out a bunch.
for the ATAC range day. That was kind of useful, but I don't like it because driving in Vegas is crazy, and I know that even if I'm doing everything right and someone hits me, it's going to be at a minimum a huge pain in the ass.
Right. And you need to find
Paperwork,
parking
time,
at
all
the
of that.
hotel. You got to find
Yeah.
parking at SHOT.
Yeah.
And in the time that you're looking for a parking space, you could have just walked off the monorail or an Uber or a bus or a taxi or any of the other methods.
So last year, the last 2 years, we said, you know what, we're not renting a car. We're going to Uber when we need to. And the car rental that I saw today was going to be about $300 for a week. And I don't know, what would you say we spent on Ubers last year, TJ?
It wasn't a lot.
Like
Not
50 or
300.
50 or
Maybe
60 bucks total.
Maybe $50 because we
And
walked
honestly,
places.
this year I want to walk less if we can. I think
So we'll spend $100 in Uber.
we overachieved with walking. We walked, I think, sometimes just to
Dude,
prove a point
To
that we
that
could walk.
511 party, dude.
Yeah, that was a long freaking way.
The one up there in Fremont Street?
No,
No.
we did get a
They had
ride.
a store opening. They had a One of their parties was was a grand opening of a store or whatever, and they had food and music out there and stuff, and it was a ways away. We had to go underneath the highway.
Oh, that one.
Yes.
Oh my, I forgot about that one.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't forget about that one. That was a long ass walk, Jeff.
That was okay. So
I plotted that on the map and said, "Nope, I'm good."
We walked there. Just so you know.
We went over.
It was probably a $30
there and
Uber drive
around here somewhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, I looked at the time that it would take to get the Uber there and said no.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyhow, so we will. I think that we will be happy to not have a car to deal with and just spend a little bit on Ubers, and for us to do enough Ubering that it would cost more than $300 would really shock me.
Yeah, because most of the local places we walk to anyways.
And you know, even if we did spend, I mean, let's say it was $300 for the car, and then we had to put gas in it, so you know, call it $350 or $370 or something. Even if we spent that much on Ubers, we wouldn't have to worry about any of the car stuff. Just like, you know, remember to request the ride 5 or 8 minutes before we're ready, and then we're good.
Yeah. Don't forget about the parking for the car too. You have to pay to park.
We've never had an issue with that. Like Headshot, we know the secret parking places. Yeah. And it make people
still got to deal with it.
Yeah.
I remember the one year I rented the car and I slept in it overnight because I got there the night before.
I wasn't there yet, so
you weren't there yet. I had to. My flight. I got the cheap flights, and it was there like that night before, and I was like, well, I'm just gonna crash in the parking garage and take a nap.
Well, TJ remembers.
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Pepperidge Farm. Right. I'm almost as old as Pepperidge Farm, so I mean we're getting there.
Yeah.
Oh goodness!
I do remember sleeping in a car at Mardi Gras once, but you didn't go on that trip, TJ. That was
thank God.
That was me and Buckley and
Buckley
and a couple other people, and we invited a girl to go because she had a new car, and we slept in her car the one night, and then we went to the fraternity house at Auburn or something like that the next night.
It didn't have that new car smell when you finished
my goodness,
the week, did it?
No, with Buckley.
No. And the security guard, we actually slept in a parking lot that had someone watching the parking lot, and he was like, I wouldn't. I'm like, but you're watching this. He's like, yeah, I still wouldn't. No, it'll be okay.
What could go wrong?
If we got Buckley, it's fine. I'll just throw Buckley at you.
That's wild.
People driving to SHOT Show. So for me, kind of like what Kevin was saying, I don't want to go past the Mississippi, but a couple years ago, 6 or 7 years ago, probably, the airfare, as I was looking it up, I was like, this is way out of my budget. I can't do it. I'm going to drive. And I mapped it and made a spreadsheet, calculated all the fuel cost and driving time and everything. And eventually I was like determined, this is going to save me money. I have to do it. And eventually I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever considered doing in my entire life. And about a week later, I finally gave up on it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Ended up finding a decent airfare. Every year I found a good airfare eventually.
Dude, with Frontier and Spirit coming out and doing direct flights, I can't go wrong. I mean, I can book right now for $200 round trip.
Right. Have you seen Frontier's pass yet? They have like a 6-month pass for $500.
I don't listen. It's Frontier, dude.
Unlimited flight.
It's listen. That's awesome, but it's Frontier.
Unlimited
I don't know,
flight
man.
for 6 months.
So they pay you $500 to fly Frontier? I'd consider it.
Yeah, they pay you.
Yeah, if they pay me.
Yeah.
If they would just buy my drinks, I'll buy that pass in a second.
Oh, they go bankrupt.
I know. I did get free drinks on the way home from TriggerCon, though.
Wow.
Nice. How
The
was
guy-
Trigger
'cause-
Con?
It was neat. It was fun. I mean, the weather was great. I took some shrapnel on the range, so that was
Nice.
neat. Yeah. But yeah, on the way back, because they had to punch in the credit card number, and it was like the other guy was just like, "It's too much work here." I was like, "Thanks, man."
Nice.
I was the only one. I was the only one drinking. He looked at me like, dude. I was like, "Yeah, can you make it 2?" He goes, "Yeah, no problem."
Mhm. Was
Nice.
TriggerCon fairly well attended?
Yeah, there's quite a few people there.
Nice.
Like the one day, the first day was, I mean, we walked around it the whole round in just a couple hours because it was just media pretty much there because it started before everybody got off work, and then around 4 or so it started picking up, and then the next day was busy because it was open to the public then. So it was neat.
Nice.
Met some new brands, touch base with some old friends, and I got me a new hat. Hold on.
Nice.
I'm all about this hat. I like it.
Yeah.
Cool,
It
cool.
matches all of my outfits. So that's what I look for. And I got a bunch of other hats. Got a free. I stole some hats from Kat at Global Ordnance. I got a dad hat. She goes, "You want a dad hat?" Or I was like, "What's a dad hat?" I was like, "Of course I'll take one."
Oh,
Apparently I have
thank
to have
you.
one.
What
Thank
is a
you,
dad
good
hat?
snob. That was my question.
Better than
Yep.
last year. Wow.
I didn't go last year, but
I heard that it was pretty weak this year. Like there were only like
it-
30 brands or something.
well, there was a few. There must have been 50 because there was the long firing range, and then you go to the next phase, and there's like a bunch more, and then you go next. I mean, there was like 4 different ranges, and the last one was where they were shooting the 50 cal, and they had all the food and the free. They did give us free Black Rifle coffee everywhere we went, and the cans. Clover stole like 4 cases of those things. They were giving cases away. Like, here, take it. They brought pallets of stuff. Like, here, take some, and I'm like, I'm flying home, dude. I'm not going to carry that with me.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I'm not to say they don't like it that much, but it was okay. This
I could
caffeine,
have
Jeff would have been like, dude,
Ship it.
ship it.
ship it.
If it fits, it ships. It's going.
If it ships, just like
Flat
how many of
rate,
those can you
baby.
get? Yep. Because I can take them out of the cases, stack them in here tighter.
Well, that's the benefit of Southwest. See, I may go ahead and book that flight and hotel tonight because then I know I'm on Southwest, which means I get 2 check bags, which means I can nest my 2 big ass bags.
Yep.
I have 2 really big ones that just one of them is slightly smaller and fits inside the other.
If you
And
do that,
then I can load it full of shit at
Right.
SHOT Show.
Yep.
and you don't have to ship it back.
Yep.
And then if you do that, I actually have money
Do
I
it.
can send you for it. That way, we're good.
Yeah.
Because I have money now. I may not later.
Yeah, that's kind of where I am too.
Weekend's coming up.
It is. It's going to be an epic weekend. So let's circle back to that. Did we have any thoughts on what cool new products we're looking to see at the super secret media elite gathering that we're going to?
Well,
they extended the 50% off too. Nice.
I heard those kids at GSL are going to have a brand new suppressor there. That'll be fun.
Oh,
I have to go see them.
Down.
Is that in my next bucket?
Yes. That'll be in your next bucket.
Well,
All right.
we'll just wait for Komar to get it. We don't have to go now, see? Komar, just once
When
you
it-
get it, throw it
when it
up on
ships.
screen. Like, here it is.
That's right.
Mhm.
That's right.
Yeah.
Got my bucket of quiet cans.
Yeah.
I just wing it, Jeff. You know me. I'll make the rounds. I'll socialize. I'll steal every cigar that I can get if they're giving them away.
That's a good point. Yeah, so this event is I am going to have to figure out what my goals are for this event because I have personally backed almost completely out of doing gun reviews for like the last year and a half, and I need to start doing some more. Like I have 6 different YouTube channels and have honestly I've been going where the money is, and I wasn't making enough doing gun stuff, so I focus my time on the other areas that Gear Report covers that would give me a chance to pay the bills. So now that I have that nailed down a little bit better, I can afford to put a little time back towards gun stuff. So I've got to reinvigorate some of those relationships and get some
Yeah.
product moving so I can get some gun reviews out.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah. So that's going to be part of my goal for this and for SHOT Show. And I really want to. So here's another thing. And we're in an hour, so we're going to not go too much longer here, I think. But I'm thinking about changing the format. I'm thinking about changing the format of this show to be much more bring brands on and do like interview type content. So we'll see. I can't decide because this has been fun, but not there's not ROI on this program. So
What?
I know it's crazy.
With this, nobody's paying for this.
I don't understand it.
You gotta subscribe, people. Patreon. Come on, let's go.
Well, if we can secure some, good sponsors for this program as is, then we will continue it as is. Otherwise, we're going to have to change the business model up a little bit, I think.
What works?
Gun Snob has started treating the event as a fun weekend. I've been doing that for years.
Yeah,
I figured out early, like I went to this event one time and realized that when you go to a media only event,
you're
everyone
not
is like, gimme to the brands the whole time. And they kind of go into that, like by necessity, they have to go into this, nope, not giving anyone anything mode. And it's very difficult to actually get review products at this event. So we just kind of treat it as get some nice kind of B-roll, get some experience with some products so that we can speak intelligently about them and have fun and just hang out with people. And without the pressure of we've got to secure some review items, it turns it into a fun event because that pressure's it can ruin an event.
It does.
Right. Well, I'll tell you that I don't go into the event with, how many suppressors can I give out during this event? That's not my intent either. I'm intent on, product exposure and just getting in front of people and networking and, you know what I mean? There's a lot of things there. There's a lot of things that still provide value from this event.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, just content alone, right, is
But
something that
as a brand, when you go to these events, though, like, do you have a budget for content or is it just the budget for the event?
It's mostly for the event.
Because like from the content creator standpoint, this is a debate that I've had with people about this specific event who are like, all of the shooting and all the stuff that we're doing there, that's the price the brands pay to get, this is what the guy was saying, to get me there. So now if you want me to do anything, because I had written an article that's about how to work with brands or how to work with content creators at events. And I had suggested to brands, don't be afraid to say, hey, let's get a picture and you can post it on social media, or let's do a quick video or something. And the guy was like, what are you, crazy? I don't do anything for free. Like, unless they're giving me product or paying me, I'm not doing it. And from the brand perspective, I'm like, think of how much money these brands are spending to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like working for free either, but I consider it kind of like they're paying all that money to be there. We can try to play nice and give them a freebie, shoot a little video, shooting something on the range. But it is nice if there's at least a couple brands who want to do something outside it, because we're not making any money off of what we're doing at that event. And that's kind of the hard part. It's why we don't go to as many events as we could, is because most of them, it's like there's not ROI on them. We end up spending money. And this is a good one because we get so much face time to hang out with people that, the relationships are where the best deals come from. So
I agree.
That's really where we focus. But I've often wondered, like, how many of the brands before they get there do exactly what you said you don't, and said, here's our budget. We're spending X amount on the event, and here's the money that we can spend on securing additional media placements, whether it's videos or sending review product or whatever. because I've got to think that brands have got to know that everyone going there is looking to come home with something lined up, even if it's just one thing. Like, you got to get something to pay for it or you don't get ROI. And personally, I gave up on that.
Gizzard Gary says he just has patches and stickers to cover the cost of the trip.
There's a fair amount of swag there. I mean, it's not bad for a small event. There's usually t-shirts, hats, patches, cigars. So it's
I just
keeps me
donated
happy.
a box full of that stuff to Goodwill recently.
Did you?
Yeah. Well, I bring it home and it's like, what the hell am I going to do with this stuff? You know,
Build a patch wall.
All the stuff you
was
it the stuff you paid to ship home from Vegas too?
No, actually just about all of that's still sitting
still
here
in the box.
after I got it home and shot the videos on it and set it down there, and then it's been sitting down here. I just pulled this out of the box. The box is still sitting there.
Build yourself a patch wall, Jeff. That's what you need.
The guitars will cover it up.
Or take all your patches, put them in a flat rate box, and mail them to me.
Yeah.
Yep. You can see Kevin's wall. It kind of reaches around.
Just like Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can kind of see around the corner there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we saw. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're familiar with
pretty soon, like the ceiling will be done. There won't be a blank
That
panel
would
left
be
on there.
baller.
Mm-hmm. That's what I need to do back there. Just do a patch wall in the back. I can be cool like everybody else. I feel left out with my 1970s paneling back there.
Yeah, this is an interesting thing that I'm glad that Gunsnob mentioned this, because it's a real thing with a lot of gun review type people that I know that have been working with Amazon in the last few months and literally being paid per video. And it's like, I really do. I really do wonder by the time SHOT Show gets here what that situation is going to be like, because it comes down to, you have an X amount of time and whatever you do with it, that's what you do. And if it's just more profitable to do the other stuff, then it's going to be a hard sell walking around SHOT. Like, SHOT may turn into a social function because we can't afford to take on product there because no one wants to pay for it. And then we end up like just losing money the whole time. So it's really getting interesting how content creators are having to figure out how to monetize what they do so that they can keep creating content. And that search for a way to pay the bills may mean that we end up not being able to do gun content anymore just because people don't want to pay for it. And
what? I mean, I can still do gun content. I got nothing else going on.
Gary, I had, for the first year and a half that I did this show, I had a patch wall behind me, and it's still on the wall. I used to have my back towards that wall. So the patch wall is literally right there. I just rotated everything 90 degrees. I had the gun rack back there, and I took the gun racks out and put the patch wall in. And then I switched everything to guitars because I didn't want to have to worry about YouTube taking my live stream off because they didn't like the guns in the background. Yeah. All right. With that, we're going to shut it down.
Yep.
Because unlike Gary, I can't fall back on cat videos. So with that, I'm going to say
cat videos,
especially to you two guys. Which way? Yeah. I'll see you guys at the range tomorrow.
See you tomorrow.
So,